Thanks for watching that, Christian fam. If growing in the faith is important to you, hit that subscribe button, because over here we like to encourage, empower, and give you everyday practical Christian advice on real life situations. We drop videos whenever we drop videos, so hit that notification bell, because for the first hour, we respond to comments immediately. All right, y'all, let's get it.
Said she never gonna fold on me, and I ain't never fold on you.
It's Being Submissive Week. What's your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I just think, first of all, my straight out answer is no. I mean, it really is like a cut and dry. No, it's not weak. I think what it is in society, you know, when you hear submissive or submission, it has like a negative connotation to it. So you I think sometimes people think, oh, you know, you walk around with your head down and you're a mute button and you don't have an opinion of your own and you are controlled by a remote, so whatever someone says to do, you do it, and you ask how, you know, if someone says jump, how high. I think so for so long in some people's eyes, some people, I'm not saying everybody, I think some people have that negative, you know, connotation to it, to where it's like, you know, I ain't submitting to nobody, you know, I don't got to do what nobody says. But here's the thing, there is an order in everything, and when I hear submit, and if you really are looking at it from the biblical perspective, it just simply means that I can trust your decisions because I know that you're in line with God. There's an order.
Look at you say that.
So it doesn't mean that I'm weak. It doesn't mean that I don't have a mind of my own. It doesn't mean I don't contribute to the relationship or I don't bring value. It just means that I know that God has a certain order, and because you're in the right place in line, then I can follow you. Right. Because I know who you're being led by.
Yeah, I agree. And I would even venture to say that it actually takes a lot of strength.
It does. To
be submissive. If anything, when you're being submissive, it shows your strength, because not everybody can do that. Not everybody can, you know, consider in a marriage, in a godly marriage, consider their husband first in things, and you know what I mean, like put their husband first, or actually trust him enough to lead. Like it's not something that we come hardwired on this earth to do, to put our trust in our, you know, in our spouse, and in this case our husband.
Ultimately putting it in God.
And ultimately putting it in God.
To lead your husband, because you know the order that he ordained for the family, right? Yeah. And so if you think about strength, and I'm thinking about a line, and you have a line leader, well, it's actually stronger when you're in that line together and moving together as one unit. It's actually showing weakness if you step out of line. Here you are by yourself over here, and there's a missing link, as opposed to being a part of that strong
because
unit.
Now you're not covered. You just stepped out of your covering. And so I think a lot of brothers, we get hung up on that scripture talking about wives, submit yourselves to your husband and things like that. We always want to quote that, but here's the thing, brother and brothers, y'all gonna get mad at me, but you know what, if y'all spiritual, y'all gonna rock with me. If you ain't, I really don't care. But here's the thing, we want to talk that scripture. We want to tote that scripture around like a badge of honor. Well, you know, they posted. Yeah, they are. But guess what?
They're not reading on to the next.
They're not. Guess what? But they're not doing that. And guess what? They're supposed to submit to you as you submit yourself to Christ.
Right.
And a lot of brothers ain't getting that part. They like, okay, submit. Yeah, but you ain't even submitting yourself to Christ.
Yeah, that husband.
Yeah, so at this point, yeah, exactly. So at this point, brothers, she ain't got to submit to you because you are not in alignment with Christ. Right. She follows you as you follow Christ, and y'all walk side by side through life together. She does not become a subordinate. Right. She is the helpmeet. All right. And we submit ourselves one to another. That means, because guess what? That same book also says that we should love our spouses as Christ loved the church, and we should willingly give up ourselves. Yeah. Put our lives on the line for our wife. While we sitting up here talking about all this submission, I think we need to fall back and humble ourselves. Keep reading and understand. Hey, it's a lot to this. All right, it's not what's it, male chauvinistic. It's not a chauvinistic text. All right,
like because you're reading this thing. No.
Yeah, I'm running this thing. Yeah, you know what? For dudes who got to talk about how much they run stuff, that means they really don't run nothing.
Right.
Yeah. So no, it doesn't really. It does. Being submissive does not. I cannot say it enough. It does not mean that you're weak.
Yeah.
Because when I think about submission, I think about Jesus. Jesus, first of all, he didn't submit himself to nobody here on earth. But guess what he did? He submitted himself to his Father.
Yeah.
Right? Even in the garden of Gethsemane, he said, Lord, like, Father, like, if it be your will, like, please remove this cup from me.
Yeah.
All right?
And not my will, but
not my, and nevertheless, God, not my will, but your will be done.
Yeah.
Now, see, that was his human side talking about that, but it was also his spiritual side. Human side didn't want to go through that pain, didn't want to go through the agony, the torture. All right, 100% God, 100% man, all at the same time. But here's what people don't catch. It was also that spiritual side, or that spirit side of him, that God side of him, that was like, okay, listen, we've been together. I've always been in the presence of my Father. We've never been separated. Throughout eternity, we've never been separated. All right. But when I get up on this cross and I get ready to go to hell for the redemption of mankind, it is at that point where I'm going to be away from the presence of my Father for the very first time.
Wow.
And that's the reason why he did not want to go through it. He did not want to know the feeling of being without the presence of the Father.
That's deep. Yeah.
So we want to talk about submission as if it's weak. No, submission is hard.
Yeah.
Submission takes strength. It took strength for Jesus to do it.
Yeah.
To submit himself to the will of the Father.
Absolutely.
All right. But I think we need to remember, we need to rewind this all the way back and understand that submission is not weak. It is something that speaks to your strength and not a weakness.
Yeah, that's the truth. So some people might need to put their highlighter away or take it back out and keep highlighting. Right? For those who stop right there, submit to, want to point it out, get it back out, keep going.
Keep going. Highlight all the rest of that text, brother. All the rest of that text. So, all right, y'all, depending on when you're watching this, the next video should be, does your spouse complete you? Thanks for watching.
That Christian fam.
Came out the bottom, girl, you know we out the bottom. People, they giving us problems, but we ain't worried about no problems.